Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, May 13, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Having a time for change call this week, Wednesday, around 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to discuss on what's about to transpire. When man is born, he is tender and weak. At death, he is hard and stiff. When things and plants are alive, they are soft and supple. When they are dead, they are brittle and dry. Therefore, hardness and stiffness are the companions of death, and softness and gentleness the companions of life. When an army is headstrong, it will lose in battle. When a tree is hard, it will be cut down. The big and strong belong underneath. The gentle and weak belong at the top. Lao Tzu. If you really knew, or I should say when you discover that you can be anywhere, anytime, any place, always. Now, doesn't it make sense that you're already plugged into, through the God that you are in that body, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever? So if you're a part of that, doesn't it make sense that you can be in many different places? You already are, but you aren't aware of it. Just by being a God of the One, the God source, you're everything. Everywhere. And nowhere. You're the trees, you're the bushes, you're the animals, you're the sky, you're the sunset, you're the oceans, the lakes, rivers, the streams. You are everything, and everything is you. But how we've been conditioned and programmed generation after generation, we believe that when we look out around us, we are separate from everything. Do you know of anybody who doesn't see it that way? Now, for the mind to really comprehend that, that's a big no. It's just too small. Cannot comprehend it. Plus, of course, it'd be threatened if it figured out that you found out who and what you are. But understanding that all life, no matter, people talk about levels of life. As, a blade of grass, a drop of the ocean, are all significant within themselves. Life is the highest supreme value in the universes. And all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Now, why do you think that so many people, after they've had interaction in a conflicting way, violent way, they call it post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD. But what it is trauma, because it isn't our natural state of being to harm others. It is not our natural state of being. Never was. So why do we harm others? Knowing that we never die. that we're supremely powerful, immortal beings that never die in these bodies. Because we're taught to believe certain things that are just not true. A lot of things. Now, it isn't so much that your parents, when you were a child, on what they told you and taught you, that's what they were taught. And then they had a little bit of their own experience in there. Now, did they know that, what they're saying is not on target? No. Do any of the people that you have interacted with in your life that have suggested or taught you, trained you, ever, do you believe that they thought that what they were saying was wrong? No, they didn't. It's because of what they've experienced and what they've been taught. We are being programmed right now, in this very moment. And just about all of us don't know that. We think it's for a short period of time, and then, it's over. Okay, I'm over that, and now I can move on. But it is never over. As long as we're in these bodies, we're being programmed. What you see, what you smell, what you feel, emotions, how you respond to yourself and others. That's a cycle that this civilization has had since the beginning. And as we ascend and begin to understand that when we direct our power in certain directions, now it might be at someone who you don't care for. And that's a low frequency. So you can actually stop or catch yourself when you do that. You can say to yourself, oh, wait, this is ego mind. I don't care to engage it. And that can be really tough, because at the time, you may be really not too happy about whoever, okay? And so that ego mind and all those emotions and feelings come in. But this is part of our learning, because we learn both sides, which is great. It's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. We learn one side of something, and we know it, and then we learn the flip side of it, and we know that, and then we begin to make a comparison and say, I'm not going to go over here and do this. I've done that before, and I don't enjoy it. And then you get to the understanding with yourself, so you're not going to do anything you do not enjoy. And the things that you would maybe think that you do not enjoy is what you open up to. Anything that we can do with ourselves to begin with is phenomenal. I mean, even walking, which we take for granted, is phenomenal. Spectacular. Having hands to do things with. Now, how would you like it that you didn't even have arms? You just had you had shoulders but no arms, no hands, no nothing. That's really different. But see, we go through this life, and we're preoccupied. Why are we preoccupied? We're preoccupied with yesterday and tomorrow. Just about everybody on this planet is. I don't think any of us are exempt from it. We get so immersed in the material physical world and all the things that come from it, so to speak, that we don't realize and deep gratitude that we have what we have. We just kind of float. We just kind of swim, not float because you should be floating, but most people swim. And you just kind of go through it, go through life. And we don't recognize it because we're so preoccupied. What are you preoccupied with? Well, it could be one or a million of other things that are distracting us from our spirituality, from who and what we are. From not, saying how grateful we are we have feet, legs, carry us. And this sounds kind of strange to some people. Oh, well, I'm grateful for all that. No, you reinforce it by verbally saying it every day across the board. All the things that we take advantage of for granted. And of course, we've been doing this for eons. It's like someone to get their legs blowed off, right? And it hits them and they go, wow, I will not ever take my legs for granted. Or mangled hands. I had a friend a long time ago who is now passed that he was kind of, cocky. He just kind of ran through things. Never looked back, which is not a bad thing. But he took a lot of things for granted. And one day, him and another friend were cutting wood. Of course, they had chainsaws. The one friend wasn't really paying much attention because they were cutting the wood, the tree trunks that they had fallen. He had his hand down there, and there was a lot of branches and stuff covering it up. So he was trying to balance the log so that his friend could cut it. His friend did not see his hand or part of his arm down there and cut right through it. So cut his hand off, cut it off at above the wrist. So it was like the hand, the wrist, and then just above that. Well, that's excruciating pain. Rushed to the hospital. The hand was intact, and the friend forgot to take it with him because and you've heard about this, that they can reattach it and everything and have pretty much similar use of it. But he forgot it, and then the doctor said, did you bring the hand? Friend said, no, I'll go get it. You better hurry because it's only, it will only take if it's not exposed too long. So he goes back, and some animal had taken the hand. They didn't have the hand. And that event that happened to him changed him in more ways than you can imagine. Not for the worse, but for the better. He moved into a deep gratitude 24/7. He got a prosthesis. He was able to, pick up things and do things. But it changed his whole perspective on himself and the life he was experiencing. And this happens. Now, wouldn't it be nice that we wouldn't have to be reminded by something traumatic like that on our gratitude, but we would just be in a total state of gratitude 24 hours, 24/7. It's like anything. Now, it's good to know that our real vitality and strength comes from living as close, which we don't do. Majority of us don't. Close to Mother Nature as we possibly can. And see, nature is feminine. That's why we call nature, Mother Nature, she. Provides all of our needs, teaches us how to be soft and healthy, yet resilient and strong. You do your best to keep your petals up whenever her dark clouds, persistent winds, or cold hail may beat you down in mid-spring. Relax and remain deeply rooted in your soil when times are tough. Feel her deeply, because she is always there supporting your life. Her dark, rich soil, which we are returning the soil to. We don't see much dark, rich soil anymore. This is where we came from, and this is where we will return one day, again in the future. The body, not the God. You may find during the short course of your life, your great mother may bring harsher environmental elements to challenge you. Know that she is doing what she can to stir up your soil so that your roots reach deeper into her secure earth. She might cause a tornado or great thunderstorm to pass through, and it could threaten to uproot your entire life. Do not take her high-pressure winds or dark clouds too personally. She is just reminding you to remain humble, to know your smallness in this vast universe, so you can have even more appreciation and perspective on life. All her soft and hard elements are gifts to balance out our sense of self. This way we do not get too high on ourselves or too low. When we're in the middle, it's much easier to feel one with the Mother and see how her entire universe was never actually separate from you. Yet the most important part of you others often say it's good to practice to not take this short life too seriously or too personally. Just know that whenever your mother was harsh with you, she was only fiercely loving you to make you stronger. Welcome all her challenges. Know they are the essential nutrients needed for you to blossom fully and bear new seeds. And it is an amazing skill to learn how to survive under 3 feet of snow. All those heavy times will only make you smile when the light, warm, sunny days happen to arrive. Now, we all know that the day comes that we get to experience what it's like to what? Leave the body, pass on, die. It is 100% certain that all will end one perfect day. The end may come suddenly or gradually. You might be chomped by a hungry rabbit, stomped by a passing deer, or gradually wither away if the wet clouds never come and the rivers dry up. Expect the unexpected, or don't expect anything. Don't get too worried about any details in this short life, little life. It is only meant to be a temporary and very adventurous ride. Our wild free spirit will live on and on and on forever. So there's no need to be afraid of anything. We can stop trying to close ourselves and protect ourselves. If anything comes by, passes by, that could be very threatening to us. Enjoy living. This one life contains the best of times and the worst of times. So enjoy it all as best you can. You will survive those dark, empty nights. Just trust that the warm sunshine will arrive when dawn breaks. It is said, by allowing for every succulent, dark, and light experience to be part of you, the richest and sweetest fragrance is cultivated within. Now, if you should ever get depressed about your fate, just remember that Mother Nature is always here loving you. Gave you life, and through the earth, wind, sun, and rain, she is confirming that she still cares deeply for you. Every morning that she shines her loving light on you, she is wanting you to relax into your roots. Know that all is well. You're not some kind of unwanted being. You are a highly loved, deeply cherished being. You choose to realize how extremely special and unique you are. And there is no other in this universe exactly like you. Every moment that we're in these bodies is deeply precious. So be thankful for what you have and don't have. If you cling too tightly onto anything, you will not enjoy being here. Have you met anybody like that? They're so tied up that they don't enjoy being here at all. Simply feel into what is hidden deeper within you, at the very center of your stem, at the source of your life. It holds an experience of irrational joy, unfathomable happiness, deep eternal love, and an eternal energy that is independent of any outer cause. This means no change in the weather can affect it. We're on this, all of us on the same path, even though some people say, oh, no, I'm not on the same path as you. We're all on the same path. And the greatest shift that any of us can have in this lifetime is the experience of full self-realization. What does that mean? It means that you know who and what you are. You know that you're in 24/7 gratitude. You know that you are in the heart mind, not the head, not the ego mind. You know that you're at peace, total peace within yourself. See, basically we realize that the unlimited, all-powerful, omniscient self, who we truly are, so it means that we must go beyond every idea, concept, and boundary which we've defined our self to be. It's Handel's journey for all of us. And this is what we're doing. This is what is transpiring. Where we not only realize we are beyond this physical form all day long, yet we have a direct experience of it with everything and everyone. We feel and sense a reverence of the spiritual beings we truly are. That it's not separate from this world around us. It is the most profound awakening process one can have, which expands within us every moment of the day, becoming an integrated aspect of everyday life. There really is no deeper transformation in consciousness that any human can have than becoming self-realized. The change that we experience in perspective is so completely radical and utterly life-morphing that nothing else can even come close to comparing. Take the most profound experience of your life to date. Then stretch it so it continuously grows and expands 24 hours a day. This is a taste of what self-realization is like. Your entire experience of reality is so different, it's as if you had been an Eskimo living for 70 years in the Arctic Circle, and one day you decided to pack your bags and go to Hawaii. The reason why it's so important to understand how ridiculously different the experience of self-realization is because it helps the mind drop any possible attempts to formulate a hardened concept about it. What it actually is cannot be grasped by the mind. The more the mind tries to think that it knows what self-realization is, the further we drift away from the experience of it. There is no mental concept in this universe that can prepare us for self-realization, other than a perpetual willingness to surrender into the mystery and curiosity of it. I'm sure the majority of us would like a formula for a way to live this life that is more enlightened and liberating. Challenge to that is that every formula that works once, it's not going to work forever. All formulas last for a limited period of time. Then we outgrow them. This is because the nature of our consciousness is meant to expand, become more flexible and diversified. It is only through absolute surrender to the infinite, this infinite universe, can self-realization be invoked and gifted to us. And this level of surrender means we are inviting in the feeling that anything is possible, which means you must let go of just about everything you have known to be true. Everything. It isn't easy to let go of our beliefs, yet it is the only way we will ever find the experience of being truly free. for any of us to begin this seemingly impossible spiritual quest for freedom. It all begins with inquiring into the source and center who and what you actually are. When you relax, meditate, dive into the center of you, there you will first find the mind and its stories about you. The infinite experience of you is behind these thoughts. It comes from diving into the center of your presence, your essence, and there you can go into it for infinity. There's always another experience within the center of each experience. And eventually, this is how we become centered within our spiritual essence. In this life, it is always the most random, expansive feelings which redirect our attention, isn't it? Redirect our attention away from who we think we are, towards rediscovering our unlimited creative source of consciousness. You notice, whenever you talk about yourself, you usually refer to the words what? Me, my, or I. And when you feel into the experience of me, my, or I, what do you notice and perceive is there? Look for a long period of time. You must be infinitely patient. And this inquiry, with this inquiry, because it is the first step towards uncovering the real you. It is vastly deep, transforming. The longer that you can maintain a focus of inquiring who or what I am, the faster you will realize the shocking truth of who and what you actually are. And the question is posed that we ask ourselves, and how many times, how many of us have said this to ourselves? Who am I? Who am I really? I'm not this body. I'm not my character personality. I'm not my belongings or my possessions. I'm not my status. So who am I? And then, just a little bit, we get this inclination that maybe I'm much more than what I ever thought I was. Maybe I am the God within this body. See, we go into that stage. Maybe I am. And then as time goes by, we start understanding and embracing the fact that what? That we discover fully and totally that we are a supremely powerful being that never dies. Spiritual being. We exist and experience for thousands, millions, billions, trillions of years. And it's sheer craziness to believe that you're never, you're not doing anything. Well, the way we've been taught, someone in meditation to those that have no clue about it. In the meditation, we discover truly, deeply, that we are the God, the pure consciousness. Who we are. And as a matter of fact, it's what everything is. Everything. Look at your body, right? And look at the trillions of cells in your body. Trillions of cells. We're like these bodies that we're in is a version of the universe. You look at all the things going on within these bodies. Blood circulation, blood cells, mitochondria, on and on and on. It's almost like, galaxies and planetary systems and pulsars and black holes and white holes and all of it, the whole universe. And don't rely on the mind to comprehend the fact that you are the universe and the universe is you. Then you begin to realize that, wait a minute. Now, when I choose to stay in the now, and I'm focused on my breath, and then I desire something, and I ask the universe in full detail that I want this. And you leave it alone. Next thing you know, one thing leads to another. There it is. One might ask, can you enjoy the body in this material physical life knowing that you're not the body, that you're the God within the body? Can you do that? We're in this lifetime to really, truly discover or rediscover, however you want to put it, of who and what we are in these bodies. That's the whole thing. And along the way of this discovery, we experience many things, many, 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 many things. We learn how to embrace any problems or issues that we carry within ourselves. We learn how to love our dark parts and our light parts. I mean, it's amazing that we have this opportunity. You begin to really, 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 truly understand that you are the God, the kingdom of God, the heaven. And with the right understanding, of course, through the heart-mind, in meditation, in the now, you send it out, your request to the universe, something that you want. You do it in detailed finiteness, it will begin manifesting right during that time. Our God, our soul, the God within the soul, is found within this space-time continuum. Where would the soul reside if it was simply resting and relaxing at the center of you? Where specifically and exactly is the core of you? When you look within yourself, where in space and time is the very center of this thing called you? When you find it, rest for many hours in that space. You discover that you are pure, powerful, perfect, sweet, complete consciousness. You are the source of divine perfection. Join in meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. There is no more need to be stuck. Same old stagnant patterns of your mind are a delusion. You are not stuck anywhere. Wake up. You are a divine being of God. Make the commitment to ignore that old path of lacking money, love, empowerment, and freedom. Do not, or don't you already feel hopeless and pathetic enough? For today, practice saying yes to the experience of having access to love, joy, total freedom. Choose to feel free in your work or your lack of work. Choose to feel free in your amazing relationships or your lack of amazing relationships. Choose to feel free in your health or your lack of health. Commit yourself to feeling free. You are free to feel, think, imagine, and believe anything you want. Claim it today. This is your freedom. You are free to say out loud, right now, I am the God force, powerful, alive, and free. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Tuesday, May 14, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. And watch the magic flow in.